welcome to the Shiva's Herb, the Medical Cannabis Chronicles. So today we are gonna discuss about the roots of cannabis. This is a second episode on the topic the Sativa versus Indica myth conversation. So we have an expert host here. I'll quickly get to the context with a quick question. I know Sativa gives you an energizing head high and Indica relaxes your body. But everyone knows that, right?
Right, and almost none of it holds up to the genetics. In fact, the plants you sold as sativa is botanically an indica.
Wait, what? I'm literally confused here. Okay, start from the very beginning.
Happy to. Last episode we covered where cannabis actually came from. Today it's the biggest label in the whole industry, sativa versus indica, and whether it means anything at all.
Oh, let's state the common belief first. What are the people told Sativa and Indica means?
The shorthand is everywhere. Indica is sedating, relaxing, a body effect. Sativa is euphoric, energizing, a head effect. And people assume the two are different kind of plant that grow differently too.
And that's wrong?
It's largely unspotted. To see why, you have to follow the words back because they have drifted a long way from the both the botany and the biology. Honestly, it's a 200-year game of broken telephone.
So where do the words Sativa and Indica actually comes from then?
They are all scientific names. Cannabis sativa was named by Linnaeus in 1753. Cannabis indica was Lamarck in 1785 and the third Rudelis in 1924.
And they meant specific things, right?
Very specific, and this is the key. Linnaeus' original sativa specimen was a fiber plant, hemp, not a drug plant at all, and Lamarck's indica was a tall, cytoactive drug plant from India.
So originally Sativa literally meant hemp?
Correct. Hold on to that because what happens next basically flips it.
Okay. So how did we get from Sativa means hemp to Sativa means in an energizing high?
A chain of people defining it, the modern usage traces back to Vavilov and Scottles, who departed from the original meanings, and then underground breeders in the 1980s and 90s remodeled the terms again. Here's the tangle. The tall, narrow leaf drug plant of Indian heritage, botanically, those are indica, got called sativa on the street. The strong, broad leaf Afghan plants got called indica.
So the things labeled Sativa then?
Is botanically an indica. The word sativa, which properly belongs to hemp, got borrowed and stuck onto the wrong plant. The labels are not just unreliable, historically they close to inverter.
But that's history. What does the modern science say when you actually test the plants?
This is where it gets decisive. A team at Dalhousie University working with the medical producer Bedrocan took over 100 samples, measured their terpenes and carbonides and genotyped them at more than 100,000 genetic markers.
And?
The sativa and indica samples were genetically indistinct across the genome. A strain labeled indica was often just as related to a sativa as to another indica.
So the labels are completely empty.
Not quite. And this is the fair, precise version. The labels weakly tracked a small number of terpenes, the aroma compounds controlled by a cluster of terpene synthase genes, but not the genome as a whole and not the cannabinoids that drive potency.
What about the strain name themselves? Ojicus? What kind of things?
also unreliable. In that study, two samples, both called OG Kush, were sometimes more similar to differently named strains than to each other.
How does that happen?
Decades of crossbreeding, pure Sativa or Indica genetics are now rare. Almost everything is a hybrid. And here's the kicker: Sativa labeled strain don't even reliably contain more THC than Indica one. The label doesn't predict potency, let alone the experience.
So if Sativa or Indica is broken, what should we use then?
Chemistry basically. Scientists classify by chemotype what the plant actually produces. Type 1 is THC dominant, type 2 is balanced THC to CBD, type 3 is CBD dominant, plus rare types for CBG, and for plants with almost no cannabinoids that measurable and reproducible.
And that's more useful
Because it describes the actual product. A lot of researchers push a cultivar to Camor idea, identify a plant by its chemical fingerprint, its cannabinoid and terpene profile instead of a marketing name.
why does this matter beyond winning argument in a dispensary?
For anything that needs to be consistent and standardized, you classify by verified lab profile, never by Sativa or Indica or a strain name. Those carry no reliable meaning. It's about reproducibility and knowing exactly what's in the product.
Any honest caveats?
Two, meaningless is the headline, but the precise version is the label don't reflect genome wide ancestry or cannabinoid content. They weakly track a few terpenes, and the deeper taxonomy is still debated. Experts don't fully agree whether cannabis is one species or several, so it's a live area, not a clock book.
So the one line version is
The hemp versus drug split from episode 1 is real and genetic. The Sativa versus Indica split everyone obsesses over is mostly folk taxonomy the genome doesn't support.
if that reframed things for you, subscribe and continue the bell icon for more future videos. And if you have any comments, do like, subscribe and click on the bell icon. Thank you so much. Have a good